Hello everyone, I'm Ijolam and welcome to the channel. With over 18 years of experience working with Microsoft technologies, I create practical, beginner-friendly content to help you understand M365, SharePoint, Exchange Server, Copilot, and AI without unnecessary complexity. Whether you are an IT professional, an administrator, or someone exploring Microsoft Copilot for the first time, my goal is to make every topic simple, practical, and easy to apply. In today's video, we will learn about skills in M365 Copilot for SharePoint and see how they help you reuse instructions instead of writing the same prompts again and again. So without further ado, let's get started. Imagine you have to give Copilot the same instructions every single day. Read this document, create a summary, find action items, identify customer impact. That quickly becomes repetitive. Instead, you can teach Copilot those instructions just once and save them as a reusable skill. Think of it as a reusable recipe. Once it's saved, you simply ask Copilot to use that skill and it already knows the steps to follow. It's one of the easiest ways to save time while keeping your work consistent. Let us see what that looks like in a real example. Suppose your job is to review customer documents every week. Every document requires exactly the same process. You read it, you look for customer impact, you identify follow-up actions, then you create a summary. Now imagine doing this for 20 documents every week. Instead of explaining those steps over and over again, you save them as a skill called document review. The next time you receive a document, you simply tell Copilot, use the document review skill. Copilot follows the instructions you have already defined, simple, consistent, and much faster. Every time you need to analyze a document, you type a long prompt explaining exactly what Copilot should do without a skill. That takes time, and you might forget an important step. With a skill, you save those instructions once. Now you simply ask Copilot to use that saved skill. The same process is followed every time. That is why skills help improve both productivity and consistency. I think we all have been here at some point. You spend 5 minutes writing the perfect prompt, then the next day you copy it, paste it, and use it all over again. Your keyboard is probably thinking there has to be an easier way. And that is exactly why skills exist. Instead of typing the same 15 to 20 lines every single time, you save those instructions once and simply ask Copilot to use the skill. So let me ask you a quick question. Would you rather write the same instructions every day or spend a few minutes creating a skill once and let Copilot do the repetitive work for you? I think most of us would choose the second option. Now that we have seen why skills are so useful, let us explore what they can actually do. Let us look at a simple business example. Imagine you are an HR recruiter and every day you receive dozens of resumes from job applicants. For each resume, you usually perform the same tasks. You read through the candidate's experience, you look for important technical and soft skills, you check their work history, and finally, you prepare a short summary to help decide whether the candidate should move to the next interview stage. Now imagine repeating those steps for hundreds of resumes. Instead, you create a skill called resume review. Inside that skill, you define the instructions just once. Now, whenever a new resume is uploaded, you simply ask Copilot to use the resume review skill. Copilot automatically analyzes the resume, highlights the important skills and experience, and creates a clear summary using the same process every time. This is exactly why skills are so powerful. They eliminate repetitive work, save valuable time, and ensure every resume is reviewed in a consistent way. The same idea can be applied to many other business tasks, such as reviewing contracts, analyzing invoices, or summarizing meeting notes. Once you create the skill, Copilot is ready to reuse it whenever you need it. Skills can help Copilot perform many common business tasks. They can analyze documents, summarize information, follow your company's review process, and organize content in a consistent way. However, it is important to remember that a skill doesn't bypass security. It can only work with information that you already have permission to access through M365. So think of it as a reusable business assistant. You teach it once and then let Copilot do the repetitive work for you. Now let us see how skills and Copilot agents work together. Think of the Copilot agent as the assistant you interact with. The skill is like reusable set of instructions that tells the agent how to perform a specific task. When you ask the Copilot agent to do something, it looks at your request. If there is a skill that matches what you are asking, the agent automatically loads that skill. The agent then follows the instructions stored inside the skill to complete the task. Finally, it presents the results back to you. So remember this simple relationship. You talk to the Copilot agent. The Copilot agent uses the skill. The skill tells the agent what steps to follow. A simple way to remember it is the agent is the worker and the skill is the recipe the worker follows. Now that we understand how skills and Copilot agents work together, let us see where these skills are stored behind the scenes. Now that we know that what a skill is, and you might be wondering, now that we know what a skill is, you might be wondering where is it actually stored? When you create a skill in a SharePoint Copilot agent, SharePoint saves it as part of the agent's assets. Behind the scenes, you will typically find it inside the agent assets area under a folder named skills. Each individual skill is stored as a markdown or .md file. Now don't worry if you have never worked with markdown before. You don't need to edit these files manually to use a skill. Think of them as a simple text files that store the instructions Copilot follows whenever you use that skill. So every time you ask Copilot to use a skill, it reads those saved instructions from Markdown file and performs the task you have already defined. The important thing to remember is that you create the skill once, SharePoint stores it for you, and Copilot can reuse it whenever you need it.